Hello, folks. This is Dave Lunch with reasonandbalance.com. I'm a lawyer, have been for 46 years. I've done a fair amount of criminal work. Prosecutors, like attorneys, are bound by an ethical code. They can lose their law license just like a private attorney can. The prosecutor in the Comey case recently filed is probably subject to Rule 3.8 of the Ethical Rules of Professional Conduct in Virginia. It says the prosecutor in a criminal case shall refrain from prosecuting a charge that the prosecutor knows is not supported by probable cause. Perhaps this is why several prosecutors in the Trump administration have resigned rather than bring prosecutions. That in the past, several of Trump's lawyers have run into trouble with various bar organizations and lost their law licenses and or have been suspended. Weaponization of the Justice Department. First of all, the states have their own prosecutors that are independent of the federal government, so that's an independent determination by other public officials. But let's take an example. Even if it's assumed that the New York criminal case against Trump was to some extent politically motivated, questionable, albeit Biden and the federal prosecutors would have had nothing to do with it. It must be remembered that Trump was convicted on 34 counts by a neutral jury who unanimously agreed that he committed those crimes. And there are probably 12 jurors. I don't know how many they have in New York. Anyway, but that's by unanimous agreement, independent jury. My point here is that even if some lower level Democrat was out to get Trump, that biasness was removed by the action of a neutral jury. Trump is a convicted felon, pure and simple. Moreover, jurors in the civil case, I think that's the Carroll case, found him liable for civil monetary damages, a judgment against him, for sexually abusing. That's all pretty serious stuff. And then a court in Colorado outright held him to be an insurrectionist. Those are independent actions by state. And if you read Jack Smith, the special federal prosecutor who was in the Biden administration, but he was there, appointed because he's independent, his final report before Biden left office, it's crystal clear, at least to me, anybody that reads it, that Trump is also guilty of insurrection in connection with the events of the Capitol riot of January the 6th. Just look at the extensive list of Trump appointees and lawyers that have either been disbarred or convicted of crimes. It's all on reasonandbalance.com.